Hello, welcome back to our Django e-commerce series, and in this video we are going to do Django Allauth authentication for the users and registration of our new users. So before we do that, let us go through what we have done so far. So here is our site. So what we have managed to do so far is we have been able to create a mechanism of adding products and then displaying them this way, and also showing product details. We have also created review system whereby a user can review product based on the star ratings and then leave a review. And then we have created a review calculation percentage mechanism whereby it calculates the percentage of each review from 1 to 5. That is what we have done so far, and we have managed to display our categories up here. We have not implemented that system that filters product based on the category yet. So in this video we want to create a registration and login system, that is authentication system, and we are going to utilize Django Allauth since it will give us more capabilities, and it is a package that is being updated frequently. So I will advise that is the best way to go. We don't have to the wheel. Let us use the available wheel because it gives us more features and more things that can help us. Without further ado, let us start implementing the authentication. So as I said, we are going to use Django Allauth library. So let us download Django Allauth library. So we have to use Python package index, and then let us search for Django Allauth. So this is what we want to use, Django Allauth. So let us click it. By the time of recording this video, we have Django Allauth at 65.2.0 version. So once we do that, let us install it. Just need to paste the pip install Django Allauth and then hit enter. Once it has installed, now let us go to our settings. Remember, we had separated our settings in our second video, I think, in this series. So we had separated our settings. We have the base settings, we have development settings and production settings. So we are going to open base.py file, and then here under installed apps, above Django contrib.admin, that is where we will add our library Allauth. And then in this Allauth, we want as well to use social account. We are going to use Google for authentication and login sometimes, so we are going to integrate that. So we are also going to have add Allauth account. Then we are going to use social account, as I said. So we have to include this. So we say Allauth dot social account, and then we have to define which social account we are going to use. So if it is Google, this is how we do it. We have to define the provider. So we'll say Allauth dot social account providers dot Google. So these apply the same. If it's Twitter, you will as well say Allauth. Allauth is double L. So Allauth dot social account dot provider dot let's say GitHub or Twitter. This will apply for all social accounts. Having done that, we need to do some configurations. So we need to define authentication backends. That is very important. Since we are using this library, let us define authentication backends. Just there, let me comment this and say Allauth settings. Now let us define authentication backends. We say authentication backends is a list. Now by default, Django uses model backend, so that will be our first authentication backend. We'll say django.contrib.auth.backends.model backend. So by default, Django uses this, but we have added another one for Allauth, so we have to include it and say we want to use Allauth.account.auth backends.authentication backend. So we have specified the authentication backend we want our application to use. We want to use the default Django authentication backend, which is model backend. and we want as well to use Allauth authentication backend. Having done that, let us create some migrations. So Python manage.py, make migrations. Okay, we have an issue. We have not added Allauth account middleware, so we have to add that in our middleware. So let's go back to our middleware. I forgot that. Just below that, let us add Allauth middleware. So say allauth.account.middleware.account middleware. Okay, once we add that, now let us run migration, make migrations. No module named requests. We need to install requests. So pip install requests, and then let us try again to make migrations. So no module named JSON web tokens, so we'll have to create that as well. So we need to install this. Pip install will be install py install python python. We need to install that so that we fix that error. So pip install py jwt capital JSON web tokens. Now let us run migrations, make migrations. No module named cryptography, so let us install that as well. So say pip install cryptography. Let me clear the terminal first, and then say pip install cryptography. Give it some few seconds to install. Once it has installed, let us install another package called 6. So say pip install 6. Now let us make migrations. So python manage.py, make migrations. Now python manage.py migrate. Okay, you can see we have created all these tables. So let's go back to our application and let us go to, let's see if the server is running. So let's run the server, and now let us go to our admin. We'll be able to see we have this table created, that is accounts with email addresses, and as well we have these social accounts. So once we do this, we need to have some configurations for our authentication. Let me minimize my terminal and let us scroll down. Let us now have Allauth settings. Okay, Allauth settings. So let's say during registration the email is required. So say account email required to be true equals to true, and then let us have logout redirect. Say logout redirect URL. You want to redirect the user to home. Let us have a login URL. Our login URL will be admin URL, admin login, account login. I mean. So remember we are using Django Allauth for authentication. So we are not going to create these views. Allauth library will give us all these URLs and views. So account login. Let us have a login redirect URL. We want to redirect the logged in user to home page. Then let us have account username required. Don't want this to be a must, so we'll say false. And then let us have account authentication method. We want to use the email. Account authentication method equals to email. We want to use the email for login. And then let us have account unique email. You need to have unique emails only. So if the user tries to log in or create an account with the email that is already existing, the system should not accept that. So we'll say account unique email to be true, and then let us have account sign up password enter twice. Okay, we need to confirm that. So account sign up password enter twice equals to true. So we want the user to be able to confirm the password. So we'll have password 1, password 2, and then the system will compare the two and see if they are matching. So that is why we need to add account sign up password enter twice, and then let us have a verification for this password to be true. So we'll say account, let me copy this and then paste it right here and say account sign up password verification. Let me remove this. This one will be verification equals to true. Now let us add for social accounts. So we need to have social accounts query email to use account email required. Let us match them, and then we need to have social auto sign up to be true, and then let us have social email required equals to account email required. So social email required equals to account email required, and then let us have social store tokens. We need to store those tokens. Social to tokens equals to true. So we want to store those login tokens. Remember, we are using JSON web tokens, so we want to store those tokens in our database. And then let us enable social account. So we'll say social. Okay, this one should be social account as one word, not two words. So we shall have social account query email as one word, not underscore words. So like that. Ensure to make that correction. Social account, not should be social account auto sign up. Say account auto sign up, and then social account email required, like that, and social account store tokens, and here we'll have social account enabled equals to true. So this is to say that we can use social account to log in or create accounts in this application. So let us add, say, social account only to be false. So social account only to be false, and then we want to verify the accounts that have been created through the email, so that when the user registers, there is a verification link is sent to that email that has been used to register that account. So to achieve that, we need to define and say account email verification to be mandatory. So account email verification mandatory. So any account that is being created, the email has to be verified. And then let us account, we also need to log in by code. So if we have registered an account, and when you try to log in, we are also adding a sign in by code, whereby you will be requesting a sign up code to be sent to your email, and you use that code to log into your account. So to do that, we need to say account login by code enabled equals to true. Account login by code enabled equals to true. And then we can as well enable passkey login enabled. We can use passkey. Let's say account login enabled equals to true. And then we need to have the expiration of confirmation. For the emails, we need to define the days. Let's say you create an account today, and the confirmation link has been sent to your email. We need to have a period at what point that confirmation email will expire. So we'll say account email confirmation expire days. So let's have those days to 3 days. So if the user does not confirm that email within 3 days, it expires. You can reduce those days to 2 to 1, whichever works for you. And let us subject to that email the account email subject prefix. So we want to have the subject whenever that confirmation email is sent to the user's email. We need to have this prefix, say Django e-commerce. Let account logout on get account logout to be true, and then let us have account logout on password change. You want when the user changes the password, is logged out, so that he can log in with newly created password. So say account logout on password change equals to true. So these are the all settings that we are going to use. So we are going to have 3 ways of authentication. We are going to have the form, which is common, whereby the user will enter the email, password, and confirm password and submit. We will also have social account authentication, whereby we will be using Google for now. We'll add more Google for now. For any social account, the process will be the same. What we will do for Google, that is what we will do for other social accounts. Login like GitHub if you want, like Facebook, the same. And then we will have login by the code. So this one, let me check it where it is. Login by code, yes, this one, whereby if the user already has account and you just want to log in by code, you can request that code by entering the email, and then that code is sent to the email that you just entered to get that code, and then you will use that code to log in to our application. After doing that, we also need to configure SMTP, because you can see we have email verification, so that means there are some links that will be sent to the user's email. So you also need to set up sending email settings. So we need to set up the SMTP server. So to do that, first of all, we are not going to hard code our secret keys. So we are going to use a library that will help us read those secret keys from our environment. Okay, to achieve that, we need to install a package called Decouple. We are going to use Decouple. There are a few more packages that can help you read your secret key from your environment, but for this video we are going to use Decouple. Okay, so to use Decouple, we have to install it. So we have to say pip install python decouple, this one, then hit enter. Once it has been installed, what we have to do, we have to go at the top right here, and then we need to import config from python decouple. So we'll say from decouple import config, and then now within our project root we need to create a file called .env file. Inside .env file, this is where we'll have all our secret keys. Okay, you don't want to hard code the secret key within your code, because it is not advisable. It creates vulnerabilities to your applications. So this is the best way, even for production and everything. So we are setting this up so that for both production and development can use the same architect. So we need to do that. Here we'll have some view variables. We'll have like email host. So here we'll have our email host. I'll show you how we will do this, and then again we will have email port. Again we will have email host user, we'll have email host password, and then we have email use TLS. Let's say this to be true. Okay, so these are the variables that we will be adding and then reading them here in our settings.py. When we are setting for SMTP server, so these, let me comment this out. So let me comment this and say sending email settings. So here we need to have email backend. So we say email backend. You can use any email backend, but for this video we are going to use SMTP server, since we are going to use Gmail. So I prefer using SMTP. So here we'll say django.co.mail.backends.email backend. We want to test this in real life situation, but if you don't want to test this in real life situation, you can use the console backend, so that you can see the email that will be sent to the user's email on your terminal, on your console, that is terminal. But for me, I want us to do it in real time. So let us define our email host. So this is how you will read your secret keys from your environment settings. So we'll say email host. Remember, we don't want to define the email host directly. So we are going to read it from the environment, that file we created .env file, this file here. So here we'll say config. So we are going to use that decouple config. So say config, and then pass in the variable name, email host, and then let us have email port. SMTP license at port 587. So we'll say email port be 587, and then let's have email host user. To be we are reading it from our file, so we'll use config and say email host user. Okay, and then we need to have the password. So we'll say email host password equals to, we are also reading it from our file, we don't want to add it directly, So we say config, say email host password, and then let us enforce the TLS. So we say email. Let me just copy. I defined it here, so I don't have to define this here. Let me remove it here and then paste it here. This is for security, okay? So we have read these secret keys from our environment email host, defined it here. We have email port 587. If you don't want to add it here, you can as well define it. You can copy this, let me cut it, and then email port, can paste it there, and then here I can read it. So say config email port. So email port will be 587. So our package config will go to our environment and then grab this 587 and then pass it here. The same thing for email host user and the email host password. Okay, so we need to create these credentials. I will show you how to create email host password and email host user in a few. So for now, let us try to see what we have created. So let's see if we can be able to create an account. So let's go to our templates and then includes. I think that is where we have our sign in button. So we'll say localhost. So let me run the server. So python manage.py run server. So let's see where we have our sign in. So here we want, when we click sign in, this sign in button, we are directed to the login or registration pages that will be provided by Django Allauth by default. So let's do that. So we go to the navbar where we have sign in and say URL account login. Let's try again and see. Account login does not match. So we need to include our Allauth URLs. That is something that I forgot. So let's go back to project URLs here, project URLs, the main project URLs, and below that, below admin, we need to add Allauth URLs. So this is how you add it. You say accounts, and then we need to include Allauth.urls. Allauth.urls. Okay, once we do this, we are set. Let's refresh it. Let me see if the server is running. We have an error, so let's close this. Let us run again server. Now let us refresh. We have this. So if I click sign up, we are not getting anything still. So let's go back and see what is the issue. So let me remove this. So here, so we need to have the condition. Let's say if the user is logged in, if the user is authenticated, we don't have to show that sign in. We need to show logout. So let's have that condition first. So we'll say if request.user is authenticated. If request.user is authenticated, let's close that if statement and we'll say and if. Okay, so and if let me minimize this. So we have created this condition if request.user is authenticated. Now let me copy this again, copy this, Control C, paste it here. Let me add this else. Okay, so if request.user is authenticated, if the user is authenticated, we need to have these to be logout, and then if the user is not authenticated, then we show this button. So let me see. You can see logout. Since we have authenticated here, we have logged into our admin interface. That is why we can see logout. So if I log out here, and then you can see we have sign in. So that is what I mean. When the user is authenticated, we don't have to show this sign in button. Instead, we need to show the logout button. Okay. And then let us now add these links and say so for logout we need to do this. Say we need to open let us define the URL and say URL account logout as logout URL. Let us have this if statement and say if logout URL. Let me close this if statement right there. Say and if, and then let us pass that logout URL inside here and say logout, ensure you have some space and say logout URL. We do the same for sign in. Below else statement will say URL account login as login URL, and then we pass in that here. We say login URL. It will be curly braces. We say login URL. So let us try it again. So let me refresh this. We have that. When I click it, why is it not working? Okay, account login. This should be not account, be account. I misspelled the account. Let me see, account logout. Let us again refresh this. So you can see we have this page. Now here we can choose to sign up using by adding this email. You can mail me a sign up form, but you can request this. We have other options. You can sign up here and see we have that. So you can forget the password as well. So all these features have been given to us by Django Allauth by default. So for now we will use this. In the next video we are going to customize all these templates so that they can look way better, like this final product of what we are building. So we will customize this with Tailwind CSS. We shall, like this one, you can see we have this login with Google. We'll set up that, mail me, and then we will customize all these to these. Okay, you can sign up. So we are going to do that in the next video, customize all these. So for now, let us set up some credentials for these. So let us, as we have seen now, we want to test. Before we test, we need to add some credentials for email verification. So let me say admin. So we need to do some settings and add some credentials for our social applications. So social applications, you can add a social application here. For us, we are using Google. If we add another social application, it will be listed here. So what we need here, we need to get Google client ID and Google secret key, and then we'll pass them here. Okay, so to get those, you need to go to Google Developer Console. Okay, this one. Then click there. So at Google Developer Console, we need to generate all those client ID and secret. So I'm going to show you how to generate it. So you can see I have few apps here. So to generate, you need to go to, you can decide to create a project and then go to APIs and services and then go to credentials. So here the credentials, you can create credentials. Click on create credentials and then choose this auth client ID. This one, click on it. Ensure that you select the project you had created. So I had created a project called DukaShop. So I want to create dot client ID and secret keys. So and then application, choose it is a web application. Choose that. And then you can give it a name, any name. And now here, authorized redirect URLs. Here is where now we need to add. So authorized redirect URLs, here you have to create and then say Google callbacks. Need to add them here. So for us, we are using HTTP. I don't have to create a new one. Let me show you the one that is already existing, so that I will place a link in my video description. I had already created a video on how to create this, so I'll leave that link in the video description. So to get those two, client ID and secret D, you can see my name is DukaShop, and then here's the callbacks. So for example, you can see I'm using localhost /accounts Google login callback. Okay, you need to add this. If you have a domain name, you will add that domain name. For example, I have hosted this in Vercel, so I've added as well. You can see Django e-commerce Vercel.app accounts Google login callback. If you have any domain, you can add it here. Okay, so that is how you do it. You can as well add, say, 120 HTTP 127 port 8000 accounts Google login callback as well. So this is how you get those, and then you save. Once you save, it will generate a client ID, and you see we have a client ID and the secret ID is here, so you can download them and then you copy them. So I'm going to copy this client ID, copy that, and then go to client ID here and paste it. It says that, and then copy the secret key as well, paste it, and then give it a name, and then now let us save. Okay, so if I go here, let's see, let me log out and then let me log in again. If I try to log in with Google, you can see it brings me here, sign in via Google. You're about to sign in using third-party account from Google. Let me continue. If the client ID and secret ID were correct, you should get something like this. So let me log in this email, use this email to register, and then continue. So you can see successful. You are now signed in as Marube. So if I go my admin, let me refresh admin, and then I need to log in again. So you can see in my email addresses, we have that email. It is verified already, and then social account, you can see we have this. So if the email was not verified, I will have gotten let me try to log in unverified email. So let me log out and try to sign in using Google, and then say something. Let me use this marubesniper@gmail.com. I have to log into that. Let's try this. I don't know if it's verified. Continue, and then log the, so this one is verified as well. So let us try to forget the password. Let me try to forget the password, or mail me a sign-in code. So let me add a sign-in code. Let's say I want to sign in a free tech. Request code, module bound does not define email backend. Okay, we have not set up our SMTP servers, so we have to do that. We have to add these credentials right here, and then to do that we need to visit. So we have to be able to get these credentials in a safer way, like email host password and email host user and the email host. Let us create those. So we have to visit my account.google.com, app password, log in your email. Now here you have to create a password, an app. So here, let's say we have something like Luca, and then let us copy this generated password. Okay, copy that generated password, and then go to our .env file, paste that password there, and then define the email that used to create this password. So for my email that used was snipermarube@gmail.com. And then we have email host. Now email host. So for email host will be our SMTP. So we'll have smtp.gmail.com. So we have defined all those. Now let's try again. Let me close this. Let's try again. Let's refresh Afritech Nexus, and then request code, port, email, login code. What have we not defined? So to solve this, that means that we have forgotten to define our email backends. So let's go back to our settings. In our settings, we have django.co.mail.backends.smtp.email backend. So this is what we have. We forgot to mention .smtp.email backend. We are using SMTP. So let's try again. So let me remove this and try to enter something that is correct. So it will be django.co.mail.backends.smtp.email backend. So let us try again. Let me restart the server, run server. Okay, let us refresh. You can see here a sign-in email has been mailed to your Afritech Nexus@gmail.com. So I need to get that code and then input that code here and then sign in. So let me go to my Gmail. So on my Gmail, you can see we have Django e-commerce sign in code. So if I click that code, you can see hello from localhost. Your sign-in code is listed below. Please enter it in your open browser window. So this is my code, so I can copy it and come here and paste it right here and then sign in. So you can see you have successfully signed in as Afritech Nexus. Now you can log out again. You can sign in using the form if you want to use. If you don't want to use, you can sign up. You can register account here. You can, let's say, let me register account. Let me see my login. Okay, let me use this email. So let me create account using this email, say marube sniper84that1@gmail.com. let me create a password and say the same thing, then sign up. You can see confirmation email sent to this. Remember, in our settings we had said that email verification is mandatory, so you have to confirm that email address. So it has been sent. Verify your email address. So if I come to my email address, you can see the email has already been sent, and if it already exists, then you get this. You are receiving this email because someone else has trying to sign up for the account using this email address. So you can reset that. You can reset the password. So I can click that there and reset the password. So you can see Django Allauth is giving us a lot of functionalities on fly. We don't have to code. We have not even written any views or URLs. We have just done some few configuration on Django Allauth to get all those authentication mechanism. So I prefer using Django Allauth because it is being maintained as we speak. So it is something that is up to date, and it has a large community, and it gives you various functionalities that creates a good authentication system. So you don't have to invent the wheel, just use the already invented wheel. So that is it for this video. In the next video, we are going to customize these templates so that they don't use the default Django Allauth templates. I will be showing you on how to customize them so that you can apply your CSS, or for our case, we are going to use Tailwind CSS to customize all these. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, if you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up and also subscribing to this YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of my uploads. See you in the next video.